back. We are back. And before I start this video, I just want to say to the people who watch these videos, I am really appreciative of the people who take the time out of their day, out of their lives, to listen to something that I got to say. Just know that your views are not, how can I put this? They're not going unnoticed. And I appreciate every single person, every single view, every single second and minute that you view. But with that being said, welcome back to Bottom Feeders USA, and it is your host Modem. And I have not been in a mood to make a video for a long time, and you viewers are the reason why I am back. So I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. And this week and a half, I don't even know how long it's been since I have made a video, but my life has been very interesting, to say the least. I am loving the time that I'm able to spend with my family, with my children. I'm able to teach them some things that I wasn't able to learn until I was at a very older age, mature age, and the ability to be able to stay around them for so long, I am just enjoying that to its finest. So me and my kids, we hung out a little bit, went on a little bit of a adventure, and took them to see some sights, different cities, um, different animals, different places, things that I didn't get to see until I was almost a teenager. I was able to let them see at a very young age, so as they grow, they can experience some of those things and be as cultured as myself. So I was just happy, and I'm kind of honored as a parent to be able to do the things that I'm able to do. And I also want my friends and their children to be able to experience some of the things that my kids experience also. So that's not the reason why I'm here today. The reason why I came on here today is because there's a word that it means a lot. It's very powerful if you use it correctly. All right. And the word for this log is small. That's SMALL. Small. So right here I have the definition of small. So the definition of small is of size that is less than normal or usual, insignificant, or unimportant. That is the definition of the word small. And the word itself, small, if you use it correctly, then it should simplify things that are going on around you. So the problem that I have with the word small is a small problem can turn into a big problem if you allow it. Usually a small problem turns into a big problem because when it was a small problem, you left it alone. It was so small and insignificant that at the time it didn't mean a lot. So over time, that small problem that was insignificant slowly gets bigger and bigger. Even though it's still insignificant, it's larger than it was before, but it's still insignificant. I feel like when something's becoming larger than small, that is the time that you should give it its justice, or that's the time that you should focus on it the most, is when it was small, but it was smaller than it was before. So it's still small, but compared to what it was before, it's bigger. This is when you should give the word small your attention, is when something becomes bigger than what it previously was before. So an example with me is, if you were, I don't know, you were having a very heated discussion with someone. It was someone that you cared about and someone you knew that cared about you. So what the thing that you were arguing about in the discussion to you were small. All right, let's fast forward. The same discussion or heated argument that you're having with someone you don't know, someone that you don't feel understands you the same way someone that you already are familiar with understands you, the concepts will seem bigger or larger than they are because your feelings are involved. But it's the same small argument. So why do we feel the need to try to use our feelings to make the situation bigger because it's someone that we feel doesn't know us or know how we are? Because those situations can lead to misunderstandings in business, in networking, in people figuring out who you are. Because the things you're arguing about, that person doesn't know you, but they know it's just an argument. So it's small to them. It doesn't mean as much to them as it does to you. But that may give off a false impression of who you are as a person. So sometimes we have to be careful about letting small things get out of hand or get larger because our feelings are involved. We shouldn't let that get larger because our feelings are involved. It should get larger because the situation or the argument evolved into something else. So it evolved so that the argument wasn't small anymore. So therefore, you didn't have to think of it in a small manner. You know, that's just my take on when it comes to small. Because also small could be used like in the details. Some details are very small and you should pay attention to them. Even though the word small means insignificant or unimportant, some of the small details are really the ones you need to pay the most importance in. So it's really reverse psychology of the word small, because it says it is unimportant, but some of the smallest things in your life can be the most important. So sometimes we have to use the word small as in detailed, as in we may have to need more focus on the small things so we can truly see their value. You understand? We really have to focus on smaller things to see their value, because they're not insignificant. They're not unimportant. Some small things are important. We just have to figure out what they are and what their value is to us in society. And small things can add up, like we say, into bigger things. So one small task after another eventually leads to a lot of time lost in the management of yourself. So we have to be careful when we do things in a small fashion, in a small scale, because even though we're not using a lot of our time, that time will add up more and more and more. So there's times when we should invest in the small things, particularly when there's no feelings involved. When there's feelings involved, small is small when you involve your feelings. But when there's no feelings involved, the word small, just in the word itself, may be the most important part of anything that you have going on. So you have to pay attention to the small details. The small details may be the difference between success and failure. It may be the difference between paying a bill or someone having to pay a bill for you. Money coming out of your pocket versus money going into your pocket. So that is when we need to focus on the small things, when we have eliminated all feelings. Because usually our feelings get involved when something's small, and then it turns it into something larger because our feelings are involved. But if our feelings are not involved at all, we have eliminated them from the equation. That is when we should focus on the small things. But until that day comes, we gotta just keep doing it how we normally do it. But that's it for this one. My name is Modem. I'll check you in the next one. Peace.